more about this project.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. Um, well, I think that's all the introductions that we have and the announcements. So I want to uh, in, in, let's see here. See if I have, make sure if I have anything else here. I wanted to introduce Amanda and Kevin. They are the directors of the A. Smith Gallery in Texas. And um, they have, I've met them a couple of times. I've been down to Texas a couple of times and met them. And they run, probably most of you are familiar with them and with their gallery. Um, but um, I've submitted photographs to several of their uh, of their exhibitions, and so I've invited them here to talk about their gallery and their own personal work and their artistic journey. So uh, I will hand over control to you all.
Okay. Well, thanks, Wayne.
And I just made you host. So there you go.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a bunch, Wayne, and thank
you.
y'all for having us. This is great. You'll have to excuse us if we appear to be a little dingy. We went to a wedding on the other side of Texas over the weekend and just got back last night. So we're jet lagged a little bit. But so we decided maybe the best way to start this would be if I would read Amanda's bio and she would read my bio.
Okay.
You want me to start?
Go for it.
Okay. Amanda Smith is the founder and co-director of A. Smith Gallery in Johnson City, Texas. She has been a photographer for over 35 years, as well as a certified public accountant. She used both her knowledge of photography and business skills to create the gallery 15 years ago. Amanda has been a champion of photography, photographers, and the creative potential of the photographic process through over 200 juried and curated exhibitions in the gallery and online. She has also been a juror for numerous outside organizations, including All About Photo, Analog Forever, Dodo Magazine, Lamar University Alumni Art Exhibition, Texas Photographic Society, International Photography Hall of Fame, American Society of Photographers, and Critical Mass. Amanda's personal photographic work began in the darkroom, working with both traditional and alternative processes. Amanda now creates her personal work digitally with various analog enhancements. Her images have been selected for numerous juried and group exhibitions, including most recently an honorable mention in the 25th Julia Margaret Cameron Awards. Her work is in several collections, including the Whitliff Collections at Texas State University, Concordia University, Austin, and numerous private collections. And I think that's it.
Okay.
You want to read about me?
Sure, I'd love
And
to.
also, don't hesitate to break in anytime with questions.
Yes, please. Sorry. Kevin is a photographer, designer, writer, and artist. He has over 35 years of experience as a landscape designer, furniture designer, fine art painter, and photographer. Kevin has taught workshops on various aspects of art and photography for over 12 years. He has curated and installed hundreds of exhibitions for the gallery and has been a juror for numerous calls for entry for the gallery, local organizations, as well as international exhibitions, including All About Photo, High and Dry, Texas Tech University Photography Exhibition, Analog Forever, Dodo Magazine, Lamar University Alumni Art Exhibition, International Photography Hall of Fame, and Critical Mass. He was the president of Art JC, a nonprofit organization for local art galleries. Kevin was an art consultant to and founder of the Cabinet Oak Project, a juried art exhibition in partnership with the Lyndon B. Johnson National Historical Park. Kevin also conducts portfolio reviews and mentors individual photographers, as well as writing about photography and art.
Okay.
And many other subjects he writes about.
Thank you.
Okay,
Well, do you want to talk a little bit about the gallery?
is that what you want to do now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did it begin?
Yeah. Well, it's been 16 years now. And how do I explain this? There was a space in Johnson City, and there were already two other galleries, and I thought, I think I can handle this. The space already was a gallery, so I could just basically move in and take it over, which was pretty cool. So I did. I had been on the board of the Texas Photographic Society for quite a while and kind of was familiar with how things like that worked. So I felt a little confident about it, and also had a big support group from them and just friends. It was just a good situation. So I did. Started out, and for about 2 years, I was doing call for entries, and it was going along great. And then I met him, and we've been together.
Blew the whole thing up.
Yeah. So we've been going along now for 14 years with the gallery.
Yeah.
And we do calls for entry and workshops and mentor, and what did I miss?
Reviews.
Reviews.
Yeah. One of the aspects of what Amanda has done, which caused the gallery to become a success, was she's always chosen good jurors. And because of her connection to TPS and her time in the photography world, we were able to get really good jurors, and that's made a tremendous amount of difference.
Yeah.
And also, she's really good at picking themes.
Well,
And what's really cool is she started out with a one-word theme, and we're still doing that now, 16 years later. So that's
yeah, I started out with home because I just thought that was kind of an appropriate thing, and it just kind of grew from there.
that's right. Well, what else can we talk about? One of the questions was, so matching the juror with the theme. So how does that typically work as we've gone through this?
Well, we come up with a theme, and we do recycle themes a lot. We've found that the most successful themes are concrete, like trees. Everybody has a tree photograph. There's a lot of that out there. Trees and water and.
Well, and there's another aspect of this too, is I don't know if you're familiar with the calls for entry, there's always a story by a guy named Franklin Cincinnatus, and that happens to be me. But the way that came about is when early on, we were noticing that people were interpreting the themes a little bit too literally, and we wanted to have a broader interpretation. And so that was the idea behind the story, was just kind of it was me trying to put something in the photographer's head to make them think outside the box, exactly. so that we weren't just getting the real literal entries.
Yeah. And as far as coming up with a juror, I try to find a juror that is interested in that theme or has work around that theme. We don't always use just photographers for jurors. We use a lot of gallery directors. The one we just did was with Deborah Klomp-Ching, who's a gallery director in New York City. Her theme was perspective, and it's going to be a really interesting exhibit.
It is.
It really is.
Oh, by the way, I can hear you now.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
I finally figured out what was wrong.
Okay, now you ask us questions. Ask us
questions.
I thought
the perspective theme. I think I was interpreting it too literally. I was thinking physical perspective, like converging lines and things like that.
Well, no, that was part of it too. That was
absolutely
that was
part
of it too.
But then I read your prospectus, and you made it clear, no, it's other kinds of perspective, not literal physical.
It was all of it.
It was everything.
It was everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and she selected a really interesting group of photographs.
She did.
Yeah, I'm anxious to show that.
She did. And Wayne, don't hesitate to ask us questions.
Okay. Well, I can since I can hear you now. So
Okay. And by the way, good to see you.
good to see you. And anyone is welcome to ask a question.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things we get asked quite a lot is, um, what are the benefits of entering a call for entry? And early on, the one thing that I noticed when I started working around the gallery was, especially when we'd have a reception and a beginning or a journeyman photographer that either got in or didn't get in was able to see their work in comparison to an established photographer and to start to question or understand why possibly, and it's not always true, but possibly why they didn't get in or why they did get in or how their work relates to the other work in the exhibitions. And then one of the other things is, because we do get good jurors, you get and somebody that enters gets their work in front of these jurors. And if they're taken by the work, and they will sometimes will take the time to go, because they don't know who it is when they're doing the juring. But after the fact, they'll take the time to go look at this person's work because they're interested in it. And that's a tremendous benefit to somebody in the current photography world.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, the exposure. You get a lot of exposure, which is, this sounds like an advertisement, which it kind of is, but you get a lot of exposure through social media, et cetera. So that's something we get asked a lot.
Yeah.
What else can we talk about? Any questions?
Well, you mentioned exposure. The I was participating in the Atlanta yearly photography celebration. Atlanta celebrates photography. I think it's called something else now, but that's um, and I had submitted some photographs to that, and that's how um, a publisher in New York saw my raft book photos, and that's how my raft book got published because it was just I was showing this publisher my photographs, my random photographs, and I just happened to show him one that was taken on the raft trip. And I told him a brief story about that. And he said, wait a minute, go back to that.
Yeah,
So you never know what's going to interest people, people with the ability to really get your work out there.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
we do gallery talks with people too, and we've done one with Wayne about that project
Mhm.
and shown the book, which was a lot of fun. It's out there.
Well,
You
I
can
think
find
the
it.
first review we did with Wayne,
Mhm.
where we saw some of those images.
Probably.
Yeah.
We've always
And
been fascinated.
yeah, and I was like, what? You know,
You did what?
this is something that needs to get out in the world. This
Yeah.
is incredible.
Yeah. And then uh, 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 you may have already said this, but y'all also offer uh, reviews of um, submissions that are made. Like if you submit 13 images, I think, did you already talk about that?
We mentioned reviews, but we didn't get into the particulars of
Okay.
it. Yeah.
If you submit 13 images for a particular um, call for entry, you get a free review of the images
Right.
by Kevin and Amanda. So,
That's
which
right.
I always enjoy that. So I'm usually scrambling to come up with 13 images to submit.
Well, and it was so great to see you with your book. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
You know, something else we get asked a lot about is what is fine art photography, and that's kind of hard to define absolutely. but in doing mentoring and workshops, my way of putting it would be, don't show me the building, show me your interpretation of the building.
Mhm.
And that kind of distills it down to its essence. And that's really what kind of separates what would be called just regular straight photography with fine art photography. It's about taking your view of the world, processing it through your camera, and bringing it back out in an image that says something more than just a straight shot of something, that's an interpretation of something. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of how we put it. We could go on and on and on forever with that, but I think that kind of distills it down to its essence.
Right. Like is documentary photography separate and distinct from fine art photography? I don't think it is.
It can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
It's all about, I mean, it basically all boils down to the imagery. It's all about the imagery, ultimately. Yeah. Well, do y'all have any questions? Y'all are too quiet.
I do have a question, and I'm not too sure. Like, this may be way off topic, but Amanda, you had said on there that you were using digital photography with analog embellishments, and I probably
What
want
does
to
that
ask
mean?
a million questions. Wayne, you're laughing. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah. Well, okay. That's wonderful. And I did kind of check out the gallery, and I saw that you did the encaustic, some of that. So is that what you're talking about? Is that, I just love that phrase. It's like captivated me.
That could be, but I think more what we were talking about is the Snapseed work, right?
Well, but you've done the encaustic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of morphed into well, are we going to do our thing?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Well, let me answer this first, and
Okay.
then we'll go into that.
Okay.
I create images now on my phone with Snapseed. So that's the digital part. I've done them digitally, and then I print them out on Kozo paper. I gold leaf them on the back, and then I glue that to a board and put coal wax on top. So that's the analog part, is the presentation. That's really what that means, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
If I was in Texas, we would have to be friends.
that's
We
great.
can
That,
still be
that
friends.
speaks my like. You're not near Dallas or Midland, are you?
No.
No, we're kind of in the middle.
In the middle? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely next time we're in Texas, we'll have to come visit.
Okay.
I would love to see some of this stuff and see the gallery. It just looks wonderful.
Yeah, they're right between San Antonio and Austin.
Yeah.
We were just discussing places we did and did not want to live in Texas. And I said, well,
Oh, okay.
Midland is not pleasant.
No.
Dallas
No.
is too hot. Houston is too humid.
Yeah.
And that left Austin and San Antonio on the
Right.
But we're awfully hot right now.
It's pretty
well,
hot. Yeah.
Tennessee ain't too cool, I can tell you
Yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I loved how you said that, because it kind of, I felt that how you chose those words. Like, it's nice. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's great. Well, you want to show your work?
Sure.
Let's do that.
So we were going to do a little.
Now, can we screen share, Wayne?
Yeah, you should be able to because y'all are the host. So you just
Okay.
click that little share button at the bottom.
There we go.
Yeah. And it'll ask you which screen you want to share. Yeah,
There we go. I think we got it. Can y'all see that? No, that's
Yes.
me.
You.
Never mind.
Well, you want to start?
No, I don't want to start. There's you. See if we can make it bigger. There we go. Put this over here. Okay. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Amanda.
Well, it occurred to me when I was putting this together that I'm showing about 25 years worth of work, which kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
Actually.
19 hours.
Yes, since you're only 23,
Yes,
how
it's
did that?
only 23. How did that happen? Um, so anyway, I kind of got into photography. I don't know, just because Kevin always asks that question when we do reviews. Well, why did you get in, or how did you get into photography? And a lot of the answers are, my father gave me a camera when I was 8 years old, and that's how I started photography. Well, I didn't do any of that. I started kind of out of, I need to do something. I need to create something. So what can I do? And so I picked up a camera, and I started taking classes in Austin at University of Texas in the, oh, what is it? The
Adult.
the adult education. And really enjoyed it, met a lot of really wonderful people. And so I started with Velvia. Remember those slides, the Velvia slides, if you're old enough to remember those? That's kind of how I started. And that was well and good, except I didn't feel like I was creative enough. I wanted to put my hands on it. So from there, I morphed into the dark room, which really made me much happier. And this is the first series I ever created was horses. And these are infrared. And, I actually printed these in the dark room, and it was very satisfying. I really enjoyed doing that. I think there's a couple more, Kevin. And then one more. There she is. And from there, I decided I needed to stay home and make work. So I got a little bit braver and took my camera and some old lens that I found on another camera and literally taped it to my digital. Was it digital? No, I don't think it was. It was film.
Yeah.
Taped it on there and to get this blurry effect that's going on all around the edges, and started photographing my family stuff. So this is my grandmother's handkerchief that she carried in her wedding, and my mother also carried it in her wedding. So that's the handkerchief. And this is a glass bowl that belonged to my grandmother, my peers.
And you've also made an encaustic out of that picture.
I have. A lot of these have turned into encaustics.
Yeah.
And these are teacups that belong to my grandparents. I really liked what that lens did with all the background and all the crazy stuff going on. And then one more. Oh, that got small.
Well, we can make it bigger.
Okay, make it a little bigger. Thank you. So this is my mother's silver from her wedding. It was all very formal back then. So this is the little book where you picked your silver pattern, and that's the actual pattern that she picked with the real spoon sitting on top. So from there, I started to get really brave, and I bought myself a Graflex camera. Those old, big, huge old cameras. And this one had a focal plane shutter in the back. So it made all this noise every time you took one. It had sheet film in it. And so this was a whole new learning process. And everything you look at when you shoot with this camera is upside down and backwards, which makes composition just a little tricky, but it's a lot of fun. And I had really thought I was going to take this camera out to places and shoot until I figured out how heavy the darn thing was, and that was not going to happen. So I ended up shooting at home, and at the same time I started collecting bottles. It's a good reason to go to junk stores. So I collected bottles and photographed the bottles in various environments. Go to the next one. So here's this bottle.
And she has an amazing encaustic of this one.
Yeah, a lot of these have morphed into encaustic.
Hand colored. You hand colored.
Yes, I did. Yeah. Well,
here we go again.
I don't think I've ever encaustic that one. I should try that.
Yeah. Another the same camera.
Same camera, same process. I think there's one more. And the radishes. Yeah. This one's really cool, hand colored with the red and
yeah.
And then from there, I decided it was time to try pinhole photography. So I started really looking into that, and I like the fact there were absolutely no controls whatsoever. It's just kind of, it happens. So I have no model, so I'm the model. That's me in all of these pictures. I just went out and wrapped myself in a sheet, and I would go and set the camera up and open up the pinhole and run around and get in it and stand there and kind of sort of count
How long were the exposures?
right around 2 minutes. I try to do overcast days so they're kind of consistent. Um, and you don't know what you're going to get. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it was a lot of fun. So I have a pretty big series of these guys. That's me underneath the tree.
I love that one.
I lived out on a 20-acre piece of property, so there were a lot of places to go and photograph yourself.
So when you were doing your pinhole,
Mhm.
that you were doing it on like a fiber, like light sensitive paper? Is that what you were
No,
using?
it
Or
was
did you
film.
use
It was
film?
film.
They're
Yeah, it was an old
beautiful.
Holga camera.
Yeah.
Old Holga that the lens had died. It just, the shutter didn't work anymore. So I just took it off and bought a pinhole and taped it onto the front. It was very low
Yeah.
tech, but I did put 120 film. Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Oh,
Absolutely beautiful.
thank you. I've had a good time with these.
Is that the one we have in the bedroom?
No,
No.
it is not. Yeah, this one was a little tricky. I was standing on rocks. It was, you can see me going in and out. That's what that ghosty looking thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 of those. That was a lot of fun. That series was good. And then this is about the time I started the gallery. And there was no more time for that kind of stuff. And I didn't have a darkroom anymore because I'd moved into town. So for a while, I didn't even create work. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
I really didn't create anything. And then this is when I discovered Snapseed. So this is a picture I took, with my phone, and it's actually my feet in the bottom, and Kevin's over there on the left, and that's our friend Mark Smith at the very top. And we have our feet in a little,
It was about this time of year, and
And
it
it
was
was
hotter
hot.
than hell, and we had a baby pool.
we
in the
did.
backyard.
We all went in the back and put our feet in the water to try to cool off.
And those feet in the top are famous feet. Mark was the founder of Flatbed Press in Austin, probably the best art venue in Austin for years.
So I learned from there, and I kind of figured out how to change. It didn't really look like that. It was color. So I changed it and kind of learned how to kind of hand color with Snapseed. And I added all the magic stuff in the middle. So the magic stuff, the little dotty things, are kind of like my signature, you'd say?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're in a lot of them.
Yeah.
So here's another one. This one's relatively simple. Um, I changed the colors a bit and I added the fish, obviously, and all the dotty stuff, the magic. So I got a little more adventurous with it and started getting more complex and adding more things, more layers. So I've added in this one all the stuff at the bottom. The tree's really there. I added all this mess at the bottom, which is from another image, and added that arc thing is actually a photograph of our stovetop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of a burn ring that shouldn't be there. We need to clean it off. And added all those stars. And then I got a little more into it, and I've added a whole lot more to this one. This was a room at a hotel in San Antonio where we stayed one time, and of course she wasn't there. I added her. I added all the wallpaper. The mirror was there, but I put her in the mirror and all the magic going on. And then there's like clouds or something floating through there, and there's just a lot happening.
Yep.
And it gets more and more complicated. I've got to where I have, like 40 or 50 layers. This one didn't have that many. And another one, there's quite a few layers here too. The tent is real, and I added all the birds and that crazy background going on, and the lion. and the woman trying to escape the lion. And I'm trying to tell a story, I think. That's what I'm trying to do.
You are.
Yeah. And even more layers here. This is our cat Lulu, sitting on, I don't know who she is, on her lap and a chair that doesn't really exist in a room that doesn't exist. Yeah. So there's more layers there. There's more textures. There's just so much you can do with Snapseed.
And what's wonderful about these is she puts the gold leaf behind it and then puts coal wax on the paper, which causes the paper to come a little bit more translucent. And so the gold leaf shines through. So it really, when you get these under a light, they really shine. They really light up.
Now, these are just the digital copies.
Yeah.
They're not a copy.
You don't get the full effect
Yeah.
this way.
And this is a picture of Izzy, our sweet kitty that passed away, and I was honoring her with wings. And the lady with wings.
Good job.
And then this is one of my favorites, the lady playing the tuba. And she's at that same hotel actually as the other one.
Right.
And I added the lamp and changed the colors and added all the magic, and I'm having a good time.
I wrote a story for this one for
You
one
did.
of our calls for entry. Yeah. I can't remember what it was now.
And I think this is the last one. This is the latest group that I've made. I've been trying to make groups of like 10 or 12 images. I work in bodies of work. That's the way I think. So I have to do bodies of work. And it's about fish. So these are little boys that are out trying to catch the goldfish.
Very cool, man. I think there might be one more. Oh, you're into something else.
So Kevin made me come up with, did you make a rule, 3 photographers that influenced me?
Yeah.
Well, this one, this particular photographer is a pinhole photographer. Oh gosh, I forgot her name now. Martha Casanave. And these are older images, but the first time I ever saw her pinhole work, I was just mesmerized. They were so cool. It's the California coastline. She took this guy out and photographed him. He's in most of her photographs out there, and it's just amazing. I love it. So this is Shanna and Robert Park Harrison. They live here in the U.S., and they've been working for years. And this is way pre-Photoshop. This is not Photoshop. They actually set all this work up. It's amazing. I don't know how they did it, but that's him. It's a self-portrait of him. And I mean, wow.
Yeah, how did they do
I
that?
have no clue. They've got setups that they did and they put them up, maybe like Wolfsman. Maybe they
Right.
were doing a similar thing.
Right.
And then, of course, my absolute all-time favorite is Keith Carter. I forgot the name of this image. It's somebody's new shoes. This is at his studio. Keith Carter is from Beaumont, and I'm from the same area.
We all went to school
We
together.
actually went to college together, did not know each other, had no clue. We were in the School of Business together and didn't know each other. And he's just my hero.
He's probably one of the most influential current photographers.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay, is there anything else, Amanda?
That's it. I have no more.
Well, it's my turn then, I guess.
Yep.
Where did I go?
I don't know.
I disappeared. Well, let me see if I can find me again.
There we go.
Okay, let me see if I can make that bigger.
Why does it keep going away, Kevin?
Here we go.
Okay.
All right. This is a body of work that I started and haven't had time to finish, but I want to get back to it. And it began after there was 2 things that compelled me to do this. One being that I have a strong attraction to Mexico and South Texas and just the Mexican influence in Texas in general, and all the discussion about the wall. It got me thinking about there was an old Mexican state called Coahuila, Tejas, which at the time this was back in the 1830s and 40s, I think, which would have encompassed the states of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, and parts of Wyoming and Montana. And um, so the influence of Mexico and especially in Texas is just it's undeniable. I mean, you everywhere you go, there's gonna be something that's reminiscent of Mexican culture, whether it's food, clothing, language. It's all over the place. So I got to thinking about the wall. So what that wall represented was something um, atrocious, obscene. It was for hundreds of years, families lived on both sides of the border and just traveled back and forth with no problem, no issue. And what the wall represented was kind of a blockade of this cultural thing that was just part of our state, a part of the way we've lived for all these years. And so I decided to do this body of work, and the thought process behind it was to go through Texas and up into some of these other states and take photographs and create a narrative around it. And these are I have more images, but these represent uh, the work. And what this is, there was a memorial in a dune in Port Aransas, Texas. This is right on the coast. And what this really represents is the Catholic influence of Mexico on the state of Texas. And then this is a picture I shot at our local rodeo. I did a series of bull riders at one time, and um, I shot these with a digital camera, and then I put them uh,
An app.
an app. Put these put these in an app, and I play with them. And the other idea behind this was to try and have the images reminiscent of tintypes. Of,
I was going to say that they look like they were shot on the old plates,
yeah. The
photo
whole
plates.
idea is a wet plate collodion.
Yeah.
To have them looking like that. And so the thought process behind this is rodeo is a Spanish word, and rodeo is the rodeos were started by the Spanish in Texas. It's and they in Spanish it's called corrida, so all these words that we have that are around it, like ramada, lasso, or what are they? My brain, I'm tired. But anyway, so even a lot of the nomenclature around rodeos are based on Spanish words. And this is a singer at a famous Mexican restaurant in San Antonio. This is one of the mission churches in San Antonio. This is actually a room in one of the mission churches in San Antonio. And those are all piñatas that were put in there after a celebration. And this is a taqueria in Houston. So everywhere you go, I mean, you can't escape it. The Mexican culture is all over the place. I mean, it's so integrated into our society that the idea that somehow there's something um, dangerous. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it, but
It's like cutting a limb off.
yeah, exactly. So as far as my influences, this is Keith Carter, as Amanda mentioned a minute ago. I really love Keith's work. And this is some work by Bill Whitliff that just blew me away. I tried to find some better images, but I couldn't find any.
He's a pinhole photographer.
He's a
too.
pinhole
Yeah.
photographer. Bill is a screenwriter. He was the screenwriter for Lonesome Dove, the television series. Really, really well-known character here in Texas. He was a photographer and a screenwriter and just an artist in general. And I really love his work. And he had this book he produced called La Vida Brinca. And La Vida Brinca basically means, I think, life jumps. Well, let me make sure that's right. Yeah, life jumps. La Vida Brinca in English is life jumps, which is a Mexican saying about you don't know what the hell is going to happen.
That one doesn't look too good.
That's a really bad representation of one of his really good images. Yeah. And then my other influence it might be my initial influence and probably stronger than some of the others is pictorialism. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that. It was that photography movement in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And the idea behind that was to have a photograph look more like a painting. There was a lot of talk back then about photography not being part of the art world. And this group of artists decided that they were going to take it and do something to it that would bring it closer to paintings and be more accepted in the fine art world.
Yeah.
And that's that. Well, any questions?
I noticed both of you use depth of field a lot, like a shallow depth of field in a lot of your images. Is that all in camera, or do you do that um, uh, in Photoshop, or how do you accomplish that?
For me, that's after I've taken the shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all my old work was
Yeah.
definitely in camera.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. 'Cause I guess the pinhole especially, you're going to have a pretty narrow depth of field. Yeah.
I mean, it goes all over the place. So
Right.
you get what you get.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
What else?
oh, do you all do um, uh, classes? Um, do you teach in caustic? And are those always in person, or is it possible to get those online? Or
Well, Amanda came up with a brilliant idea during COVID, which was she came up with the idea of workshop in a box. And so for encaustic, we would pack everything that you need to do the workshop in the box and mail it to you. And then we actually did the workshop over Zoom. And
wow,
that's how she does her gold leaf
Yeah.
workshops now is she sends you the box with everything you need, and then the workshop is conducted over Zoom.
what?
Yeah.
So you've got the caustic and the gold leaf. Are there any other workshops that you all do?
I've done a workshop called Discovering Your Personal Aesthetic, which has been a really successful thing that I've done, and it's I think everybody can relate to it because it really boils down to is why do you shoot what you shoot,
Right.
and then the genesis of it was doing reviews, and at one particular time especially, we did a review with a fellow who was a Basque from Spain, and he was living down in South America, and he was an architect, and during the review, he had these really, really wonderful images of buildings in, I think, Brazil, or it might have been Venezuela. Anyway, they were these wonderful muted colors. They were just really, really well done. and he was wanting to know what he needed to do to up his game, et cetera, et cetera. And we're looking at these images, and I'm trying to draw out of him, why are you shooting this? Why did you shoot this? And he just he couldn't say anything. And then I asked him, I said, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm an architect. And it's like, well, I mean, you're shooting buildings. Don't you think there's a little bit of a connection there? And so we noticed this time was happening time after time after time in reviews, is that there were folks that were wanting to take their photography to the next level, but they were taking kind of a scattershot approach. But some of their best work was something that they had a personal connection to, which makes absolute sense. Why, it just, how could it be otherwise, really, when you really think about it? So that's what that workshop is all about.
Right. Yeah.
That's what you taught it.
At slow
At slow
exposure.
exposure.
It's slow. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm sorry I missed that.
Well, I think it's a good workshop.
Yeah, it was a good workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
else have we done? Oh, I did hand coloring on encaustic.
Mhm.
I'm actually more of a painter than I am a photographer. So I did hand coloring. We taught a hand coloring on photography class. And then I've done an acrylic class where you can take acrylic products and make them look like encaustic if you don't want to use encaustic. And that's been relatively successful. So
Have you ever
we've
tried
dabbled a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
No, we've dabbled a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And we're
Have you
thinking
ever, yeah.
yeah, the
Um,
Snapseed thing.
Yeah,
Thinking
yeah,
about the
yeah.
Snapseed thing.
right. Kevin, have you ever incorporated your writing into any of your workshops?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm working on something right now about story.
Mm-hmm.
How to create story in your work, or
Right.
how to apply story to your work.
Right.
I haven't quite got it honed down yet, but I'm working on it.
Um, does the photograph come first, or does the story come first?
It can go either direction.
Yeah.
Actually, it works better if the photograph comes first.
Mm-hmm. So are you going to do another story uh, exhibition call for
We probably
entry?
will.
I hope so. That's
Yeah,
one
we
of my
probably
favorite
will.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's a
probably
lot of
will.
fun.
Also, this is uh, was an exhibition, a call for entry where the photographers submitted their photographs, and for each and every photograph that was uh, uh, selected for inclusion, Kevin wrote a story.
Franklin did.
Franklin, I'm sorry, Franklin Cincinnatus wrote a story,
Yeah.
which
So
seemed
Wayne,
like a lot of work to me.
Yes.
is that tree still standing?
It is not.
It
In
is
fact,
not. Wow.
the tree and the house were both torn down, like literally uh, months after I took the photograph.
Oh, that's a shame.
So they're not there anymore.
Well, it's memorialized
Right.
now. One of the aspects of photography that we promote big time is working in bodies of work. I don't know how much y'all have talked about that as a group, but to us, that's just an incredibly important aspect of a photography practice is working in bodies of work. We see that people, some people struggle with that, and that also gets back again to the whole my concept of your personal aesthetic. Because that kind of goes back. If you notice when we showed our personal work and you looked at who we said our influences were, there's a lot of similarity to the style. The styles are a little bit similar, and that's part of that.
Yeah, I think I struggle with that. I think I have uh, uh, trouble with doing one thing and then going off and doing a different thing and doing a different thing, and I'll do one photo shoot of
It's
a
1930.
thing, right? So um, I struggle with developing those bodies of work. Yeah.
Everybody has trouble with it. I mean, there's too many shiny objects out there.
Well, you keep a notebook and you
Yeah.
write down those
Yeah.
ideas and
Yeah.
you finish up what you're doing and then you jump over to those new
Yeah.
ideas.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then what I wind up doing is going back and looking through all the photographs that I've taken over the years and trying to stitch together a body of work, or work that is related to each other, even though they were not shot together as
Mhm.
the same body of work.
Right.
That's
I'm not sure how
totally good.
successful that is.
No, that's all good.
Yeah.
You know, the other positive about that working that way is if you enter calls for entry, it's to your advantage to have images that relate well to each other.
Mhm.
Because when a juror is looking at all the images together, it's naturally very chaotic. So if your entry is a little bit calmer in the sense that the images are complementing each other, that's a benefit. Now that doesn't always work that way because certain entities that do calls for entry, they scramble the images so your images are not all together. They're all mixed up. And like we do it where your images are all together, it makes a difference.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, does anyone else have any questions? Any more questions? Well, we appreciate you all coming in and talking with us this evening. And maybe you can come back some other time. And
We'd
if you're
like
ever
to.
in Nashville, look us up.
We
We'll
will.
do that.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So sorry we might be a little goofy this evening, but
But we're
okay.
always a little goofy anyway, so.
I can never complain about anyone else being goofy.
Thank you for sharing those images. That was y'all are both wonderful.
Yeah.
I went on and yeah, that was fantastic.
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what calls for entry do y'all have coming up at the gallery?
Beauty.
Beauty. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. Wendy Snyder's the juror.
Oh, okay.
You know Wendy. You know
Yeah.
our Wendy anyway. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, thank you all, and thank everyone for coming this evening. I guess that's all we have for this month, and we'll see everybody next month.
Up one
And,
question.
I'm
Sure.
sorry.
It's
And,
me, Siobhan.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
I know maybe everybody want to leave. The photograph happening between Nashville and Erbil, and just like I just want to know how many photograph is gonna happen like between. This is gonna happen in Erbil too. Is that right?
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a set of photographers in Nashville Snap, and then there will be a group of photographers in Erbil.
Okay.
We the total number of photographs that wind up in the exhibit usually are around 40.
Okay.
But the way that it will work is that as many photographers on each side as want to submit will be able to submit, and then we will have a juror to select out of the 100 or 200 or 300 images that are submitted. They will select 40 some odd photographs that actually end up in the exhibition.
So did they gonna how is it gonna work? Did they gonna mail it to here or somebody will bring it or
Uh, Generally, the way it would work is that most folks these days work in digital photography.
okay,
So what we would do is the folks in Erbil will
okay,
send us their digital file for the photograph, and then
okay,
we will print it here.
okay, got
And
it.
same thing in Erbil, we will send them our digital images, and they will have those photographs printed there in Erbil, so that they can hang the exhibition in Erbil.
I think that'd be very nice. And Erbil, do you guys like want to have it in only inside the city or all over the Erbil?
Um, I think we're flexible. I think, in fact, I think we've had this discussion about Nashville.
Okay,
Do we want to restrict it to just Nashville, or can it be Franklin, Gallatin? I think what we kind of decided was, y'all can
yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're flexible. If it's somewhere in the region,
okay,
I think that's probably fine.
okay.
Yeah.
That's because Erbil have big mountains and
Right,
the villages, a lot of beautiful stuff. I think that'd be nice if they can do it around the Erbil too. It's still Erbil, but
right,
Erbil is big. The downtown area is different from a little bit you get out from Erbil.
right,
Yeah.
right. And a little, yeah, um, some different types of photographs of different types of areas. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I might visit there next month.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm
Yeah.
still working. I'm still looking because they're still not safe and a lot of plane has been canceling.
Yes.
If everything slowed down, I might go there for a couple weeks. I will let you guys know from the email. I will send an
Okay.
email.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I think they are looking at possibly doing this in October, but I don't think that that's set in stone by any means.
Okay.
So, um,
Anything you guys need from me, I'm here. I love to
great.
help.
Okay.
Thank you
Uh,
very much for having me today.
Sure thing. I did have one question. We had
Yes.
discussed at our last meeting the possibility um, of asking, are there any photographers, Kurdish photographers that you know of here in Nashville who
Yes.
might be able to participate in the Nashville side of the photo
Yes.
project?
Yes. I can if you want I can share the email
Okay, sure.
and contact. Yeah, can talk to each other.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
So what do you need specific from the photographer? They want to
Um,
join.
right. They don't have to join Snap, but
Okay.
we're just if they are interested in participating in this project, which is still sort of amorphous, but
Okay.
we haven't nailed down exactly what we're looking for, but uh, just it would be I think it would be interested to get an Erbil perspective on Nashville
Got
and have that contained within the Nashville end of the project.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
No
And,
problem. I
and I'll
will.
be happy to talk with any photographers interested.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having
Okay.
me. I was very happy and it was great.
All right.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you all. It's great
Thank
Well,
you
to
let
for
let
see you.
let us know how that goes. We'd like to see the
Yeah,
outcome.
I will.
That
And
sounds like a fascinating project.
yeah, we did a Sister Cities Day in the Life project a couple of years ago with our sister city in Germany, Magdeburg, and it was a roughly a 40 image um, uh, exhibit, 20 images from each city. And like I was explaining, we sent our images digitally to Magdeburg and they printed them out there and they sent ours here and we printed them out here. And then we both had a exhibitions of those uh, uh, photographs all around town.
That sounds great.
And
Yeah.
Magdeburg, they showed them in several different um, locations, and so that was that theme was a day in the life. So the photographs were all taken on the same day.
Wow.
And
That's cool.
I don't think we're going to stick to that here. I don't think we're going to. It's necessarily going to be shot on one day,
Yeah.
but if you're interested, I can get you information. There was we did a photo book, blurb photo book, and I can get that to you or
That'd be
get you
great.
information on that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And Kevin and Amanda, I think you have to make me the host again so that I can.
How do we do
I
How do
that?
we
think
do that?
if you uh, uh, put the arrow up on my screen, and there's three little dots, and you click on the three little dots.
Hold on. Let's get rid of this.
You can stop the recording.
There it is. I see the three little dots.
You know, click on the three little dots.
Yeah.
It maybe
Okay.
says return
Or make host. Make
or
host.
make host. Exactly.
There you go. Change.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Wonderful. I have to do that so that I can turn off the recording. So, all right. Well, thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thanks to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Y'all take
Bye-bye.
care and good
Thank
luck.
you.
You bet.
Y'all have a good one. Get some sleep.
Bye bye.
Thanks.